Hey there, Crafty crew! Welcome back to the Crafty Quinn, your go-to channel for budget-friendly and creative DIY projects. I'm Megan, and today we're taking the winter wonderland indoors with some Dollar Tree ski lodge DIYs that will transform your space into a cozy mountain retreat. We've scoured the aisles of Dollar Tree and Target to bring you some amazing finds that, when combined with a sprinkle of creativity, will turn your living room into the ultimate ski lodge escape. So grab your hot cocoa, get comfy, and let's dive into these Dollar Tree gems that will have you saying chalet chic in no time. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss out on our budget-friendly DIY adventures. Alright, let's get crafting with DIY number 1. So these ice skates are awesome. I went ahead and pre-drilled 3 holes into each one because we are going to make them ready for laces. So this, I'm using some Waverly Plaster Color chalk paint. I love this because it's not like a stark white, it's more of an off-white ivory color, but sometimes in some light it does look white. So I want to make sure to cover the tops of these ice skates, and then I went ahead and used a mineral color. This is also by Waverly, it's another chalk paint, and I used that on the bottom of the skates. So here we're putting our laces through these pre-drilled holes. So these ice skates, I found them on Amazon, and so they're about 3.5 inches wide and about 3 inches tall. They came in a pack of 20, and I have them linked below in my description if you want to recreate this look. So we are just feeding this through. I had to pre-glue the very top of this jute twine because it was the only way it was going to form like a needle and keep all the little like jute threads together to be able to feed this through these laces. So I just cut a very small piece of jute twine, just wanted to test it and see how it would do, and then kind of gave myself some more room as I went along and just kind of wrapped it around and fed it through each hole. So it really came out better than I thought it was, and yeah. So now we have it fed through all 3 loops, and we can now glue this down. So I cut off the excess, I cut off the part that I glued, and we're just gonna hot glue this down in place, and I use my little silicone brush so I don't burn my fingers. This is like supposed to be like a clay mask brush, and I found it at Dollar Tree. So it has come in handy many, many times, and I've had this for years now. We're gonna cut off the excess jute twine here and do the same thing. I still burn my fingers on occasion, but this helps do it a lot less. So I did the same to the other skate, and then I laid them down in this frame. I didn't want to bore you guys with how much cutting I had to do for the scrapbook paper, but I found the scrapbook paper at Hobby Lobby. I didn't quite get it to fit in this frame, but I got this frame at Target a while ago from their like dollar section, which is more like the $5 section these days. But this is a frame that I've held on to, and it has apparently served me well now because I'm so glad I got to use it for this craft. But I wanted to first glue these skates together, and then once they were glued together, then I went ahead and tied the little bow on this because it was so hard to do this when they were not glued together. So that held it in place for me so I could just feed the jute twine through the top of these skates because they look like they're supposed to be ornaments, and the 20 pack that they came in on Amazon came with string as well, so you can make ornaments for a Christmas tree if you want. But I wanted to use it for crafting. So I kept this Let It Snow wood letters wood words from Dollar Tree, and I want to say they have this out almost every Christmas because I have found it year after year. So this is just something I've held on to. So I painted it with the plaster color chalk paint from Waverly that you saw me use earlier. And now it's time to glue down our ice skates. So this scrapbook paper, I glued this in here with just some Craft Bond glue stick. And so that is great because it's a repositionable glue stick. So if you don't get it right, you can kind of keep moving things around. But this scrapbook paper wasn't a complete fit. And there was a whole footage that I cut out. I didn't want to bore you with that. but we're just gonna glue down our wood words, and here this craft is done. So one thing I love about all these crafts is that they all kind of match and they all go together and they all fit together. Oh, there's the pop sound. When you hear that, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications so you never miss a new upload. So here we're gonna make some ski poles. I really wanted to make these for a long time, and this was something I was inspired by on Pinterest, and I can't find the original crafter now who did it, but they did something similar, not this exactly, but I wanted to recreate this in my own way. So I got these wooden dowels from Dollar Tree. They were about 6 inches or so tall, and then these like little wood circles, these are also from Dollar Tree. So I had to use my drill and kind of hold it in place and then just kind of keep working with it until I got it to fit perfectly through the wood piece. So all of these items right here, these are all from Dollar Tree. These like little wooden circles, I found them over with like the flowers and like the fake florals and all that. I found them from a bigger Dollar Tree, so they had a much bigger selection. So you might not see this at every Dollar Tree, but I felt lucky enough to find these because it was perfect for this craft. So I glued them together just right on top of each other, a little X shape. And I just wanted to tie them together with some jute twine and make it all pretty with a little bow. So I decided to just glue down the jute first using my silicone makeup brush. So that held it in place. And then after I held it in place, then I can start wrapping this around. And mainly I also wanted to wrap this around because I wanted to cover up the hot glue because, you know, that's not very pretty. So I wanted to just add some rustic charm to these little ski poles. So this is going in our winterscape, and it's a small piece of decor that I didn't want to put it on a sign or anything. I just wanted it to be its own thing. So I just felt like it goes with all the other crafts in this video. So once we have it all wrapped around, then we just glue the last piece in place to hide it. And then I just did about 3 loops, well, I guess 3 or 4 loops. Just wrapped it around my fingers a few times. And then that's how I like to make bows. And then I just kind of wrap it around and make a little jute twine bow this way. And I love that it has multiple loops. So I cut off the excess jute twine and we are almost set here. I just glue it to hold everything together. Just glue that last string down and we have our bow. And now we can place it on our ski poles. Absolutely love this. This would be great for a tiered tray because it's very mini. This is definitely one of my favorite DIYs. So now we're hopping into the DIY that you see behind these ski poles with DIY number 3. So we are making our own ski lodge sign. So I made this through Canva, and this is a printable that is available on my website, thecraftyquinn.com. But it's also linked down for you below in the description of this video if you want quicker access to it. I have a JPEG version and I have a PDF version available to download, and you can use this blank version as you see fit for your crafts if you want to recreate this. And so here I'm using the PDF version. I blew this PDF version up to about 150% when I went into the print screen, and that's how I got it sized perfectly for this frame. Well, not perfectly, but it fit better into the frame this way. But you can leave it however, whatever size you want. You can leave it at the size that it comes in. It wasn't sized to fit the whole 11 by 8.5 screen completely, so it's a little bit smaller than that, but you can blow it up and make it bigger if you want. You just have to play around with your printing settings. So I cut this out using the paper cutter, And now it's ready to lay down in this frame. This is another frame. It's the same, same type of frame from Target. And so this is another one that I had been holding on to for a while. It was either $3 or $5. I can't remember, because everything is a little overpriced in their dollar section, which is not really a dollar section anymore. So we're not going to need this string. We're not hanging this sign up or anything. This is just going to lay against my shelf. So like I said, it was not a perfect fit and it looks kind of awkward on the left and the right side, but we're not going to worry about that. For now, we're just going to glue this down using our Craft Bond glue stick. I like to use this kind because I can keep shifting it around and it's not just going to immediately stick. But that is the downside, because it does not immediately stick when using this type of glue stick. So you have to let it sit for a while. You have to lay something heavy down on top of it maybe for a little while and come back to it. You know, it's not like it's Mod Podge or anything like that. So I just like that it is a quicker hold, but you have to give it time to cure. And this is just printer paper, so it's not nearly as thick as cardstock or scrapbook paper. So I just kind of laid it down, moved things around, flattened it out. So because it is not a perfect fit, I wanted to cut some plaid scrapbook paper and put that on either side of it. And of course my printer did run out of ink for this project because everything was just going so well in the making of this video. Everything went perfect. So wouldn't be crafting if you didn't have a couple issues. So this paper cutter, if you're looking for this, I'm going to link this down below. I also got this off of Amazon. It does make some things go quicker. I mean, sometimes you just need scissors, sometimes you need more of an exact cut, so that's what I use this for. This, I just kind of eyeballed it here and just kind of bent the paper where I thought it maybe I needed to cut it. And then I just took scissors and just cut this extra off. So this sign was just really, really quick and easy because the graphic is already made. I love making things like this on Canva. It's what I use to make all my video thumbnails for. And no, Canva is not sponsoring this video, but I would love that in the future. So we're just going to glue down our scrapbook paper. And cover up those parts where it didn't quite exactly fit. And then you're going to do the same to the other side as well. Like I said, you can download this printable on my website at www.thecraftyquinn.com. And so there's a whole blog page that we made for this. And so it's just easy access. You just go to that blog page. It has instructions for download, and you just download the printables and save them and use them how you want. I love this little fox. Found it at Hobby Lobby. And everything fits together. DIY number 4. We are almost done completely transforming everything into a cozy mountain escape. So these are wooden letters that I had been saving from Dollar Tree. I had to get about maybe 3 packs to make sure I had all of the letters that I would need for this craft. But I had these for a while and I was just saving it to use on the perfect idea when it came along. So I stuck everything down with some double-sided tape, as you just saw, and I'm using some black ink. Well, the name of it is called ink, but it's Waverly chalk paint, or chalky acrylic paint from Waverly, but the color is called ink. So I painted all of them with my sponge brush, made this messy bow. Maybe I didn't film this part, but I made this little X messy bow and just cinched the middle of 2 pieces of this winter fabric. Well, winter ribbon that I got at Joann Fabrics last year. Love it. And then we're just gluing down our greenery. These little green pieces I did get from Dollar Tree. I found them when they had all of their Christmas stuff out. Some stores might still have these, I hope, in their floral section. Hopefully not everything is Valentine's Day yet. But when I see pieces like that, I hold on to them. I grab them and I hold on to them because they come in handy. So now we're going to start gluing down our letters. I like to start with the middle letter first and have everything perfectly aligned and then do the ones around it. So that is my little trick, but it really does help with spacing to just start with the middle letter. And the sign that I'm putting everything on and gluing everything on, this is also from Dollar Tree. This was out with their farmhouse stuff in the Crafter Square section. On occasion, I still see these. This was something that came out last year, or maybe even the year before, but they keep putting these out. For the longest time, I did not know what to do with this sign, and then the perfect idea strikes, and you're glad that you held on to something, right? So we got ski, we got lift, and then we need something next to these words because we want this to be, well, an authentic or whatever you want to call it, ski lodge sign. So these popsicle sticks, these were super thin and easy to cut. I found these at Walmart and I just kind of laid them up against the sign, measured them, and then cut them not quite in half, but just a little bit, maybe about 3/4 of the way, and then just shaped it with scissors and my finger sander to make it match the other side that was rounded. And I did this to both popsicle sticks because we are going to make skis. That's why I love this finger sander. It really comes in handy in a pinch. This was something I found on Amazon, and it is, yes, linked below if you're looking to get one of these for yourself as well. So I'm trying to make everything match, so I used that same Waverly ink color and painted these skis black as well. We will come back to that as they're drying, but I found this adhesive stencil from Dollar Tree a while ago, and I want to say maybe they still have these in their Crafter Square section, but I just love their adhesive stencils when they work out. But this one worked out a lot better than I thought. So I needed some kind of arrow, and I couldn't find any stencils that I had for arrows, so this was really the next best thing. But look how great that turned out. I'm really shocked because it is a Dollar Tree adhesive stencil, but the adhesive, you can use it again. So it worked out great. And then once the skis were dry, I just used some puffy paint from Michael's because I'm all out of white paint right now. So I just grabbed the puffy paint from Michael's, and I thought it turned out great using this. So we were just going to hot glue this down and make a little X shape, and it ended up being perfect fit. And we just lay the other one on top once these were dry, once the puffy paint was dry. And here we go. We have our ski lodge sign. Absolutely love it. Everything fits on theme. Makes my OCD happy. All right, DIY number 5. So maybe this one's my favorite craft of the video. I'm not sure, but this one took the most steps, but really, really loved it and how it turned out. So this is just a blank truck, MDF little truck from Dollar Tree. They have these in their Crafter Square section. I'm not sure how often they have them, but this was also out with maybe the farmhouse stuff. But some of the Dollar Trees I go to, they just have these out all year round. So they're not tied to any specific holiday theme or anything like that. They're just regular blank trucks. So we're using that same color, and I just used a small brush to kind of outline the wheels and how high I want the wheels to go up into this truck. And then kind of cornered off this one section here because I'm going to make the fender a different color. So I started off using a bigger brush, and then I realized I really needed to use a smaller brush to get those details. So when the majority of the truck was painted, then I moved on to the railing of the truck, And I want to say this is the Fawn Waverly color, because it's not the mineral color, so I believe I used Fawn. And this is another chalk paint. I swear, I feel like I have almost all of Waverly's colors. I just really have taken a liking to them. So we painted our railing. And then this is the mineral Waverly chalk paint as we're going in with a much smaller brush to really get those details. So we're going to do this for the front and back of this truck. And then we're painting the wheels of this truck with Waverly's Plaster chalk paint color. Using this a lot as I ran out of white. But I like this because it is an off-white, even though it may not necessarily look like it. I did go in a couple spots and do a second layer of paint just because I felt like I was seeing the MDF come through a little bit. So feel free to go back, do a second coat because you might need to for sure in some spots, but I really tried to get every part of this truck covered. So I want to credit this to my mom. My mom came up with this. I don't know if you guys are like me, but I'm the type of person that calls their mom when anything happens. And I was really working through this truck. This truck was I was overthinking a lot. And so she came up with the idea to use this plaid scrapbook paper that I had for the other crafts and just put this on like as a little stripe on the truck right underneath the railing. So thank you, Mom, for this idea because I really loved how it turned out. And I did have to shape this with my scissors a little bit and round the edges of this just to make it fit perfectly. And it really turned out great right there. I wanted everything to match, so this helped with that as well. Just taking our glue stick here and using that to adhere this to the truck. And this definitely kept shifting a little bit, so I had to sit something heavy on top of this scrapbook paper because it's much harder for scrapbook paper to stick with this glue stick for some reason, but you just got to give it time. So here is the JPEG version of the ski lodge sign that I made in Canva. I'm trying to show how small it is, but it's literally like 1 3/4 inches. So it's not quite 2 inches. So I threw the JPEG into a Word document and then sized it down to be able to fit onto this truck. And this JPEG is also available for download on my website, thecraftyquinn.com. So you can find this exact version and just scale it down to whatever you're working on by throwing this JPEG into a Word document. I got some paint or some glue on this, so I was wiping that off. But all of this you can get on my website, thecraftyquinn.com, and I've linked directly to these free printables down in the description of this video. So feel free to download them for yourself to make some fun crafts. So now we are using some more double-sided Scotch tape, and I'm in my robe because I was cold. I'm not even gonna deny it. So we are just covering our popsicle sticks. These are the same ones I was using earlier for the ski lodge sign. Painted them black and then took Waverly's moss color chalk paint. Love this. This is one of my favorite colors of theirs. And just quickly use that for our wooden trees. These wooden trees I found at Dollar Tree, and this was out with their Christmas stuff, and this was like in a multi-pack of other little wooden pieces. So I'm glad I held on to this. And now we're just hot gluing this down. I wanted the truck to carry these trees. And I also wanted it to carry some skis because it has to look like it has something to do with an actual ski lodge. So these are really thin popsicle sticks, really small, from Walmart, in a huge pack of them. And then we're just gonna hot glue everything down in place to where you want it to go. Just trying not to burn myself here. And then also went back, added a little bit more glue just to make sure that would stay in place and not break off. So we're going back, we're using more puffy paint, we're just doing a couple stripes, making these look like skis for real. And then just doing this to the other one as well. I did have to fix that. It didn't come out great. So I went in and fixed it with my fingernail. But we are done. And this is the final result. The lighting here, you can't really see the green plaid as much, but in the last part of the video where I just showed you completely done, that's really what it looks like. It's just this light is not great. But this is where it is. It's displayed. This little owls from Dollar Tree. You might have seen this. But I wanted to make a little winterscape in my living room. And so I have all of these DIYs up on a shelf, as you can see. Love how everything turned out. I love these so much. These were definitely my favorite crafts to make. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And hopefully you will feel inspired to make some of these for yourself. If you want to watch more videos, check them out here on the left. And let's keep in touch on Instagram. Stay tuned for my next video next week. Thanks, you guys.